You open your banking app. Your stomach instantly ties itself in a knot. A hot wave of shame washes over you. It's a feeling you know all too well. You quickly close the app. You'll deal with it later. You always tell yourself you'll deal with it later. But what if this deep, nagging struggle with money, this cycle of avoidance, guilt, and anxiety, isn't a character flaw? What if it's not about you being bad with money, but about you being an INFJ? And what if you could finally get a handle on your finances, not by changing who you are, but by working with your unique personality? Here's the truth. For a lot of INFJs, there's a huge conflict between our need for security and a deep, deep discomfort with the whole idea of wealth and materialism. This creates a state of money ambivalence, a constant push and pull that leads to procrastination, avoidance, and even financial self-sabotage. You want freedom, but you feel guilty for wanting the money to get there. If you've ever felt a little ashamed that you don't care about climbing the corporate ladder or owning flashy things, you are not alone. That feeling is a huge piece of the INFJ financial puzzle. Let's break it into sections. Section 1, the problem, the overwhelming weight of money, shame. For us, money isn't just numbers on a screen, it's an emotional minefield. INFJs often drag around a heavy, deep-seated money shame, a feeling that we're just inadequate or fundamentally broken when it comes to finances. This shame often starts because the world has spent a lifetime telling us that our passions and career choices are impractical or unprofitable. We're told that the things we truly value, art, philosophy, helping people, deep connection, won't pay the bills. So we start to believe this story that money is somehow dirty, that it's a corrupting influence that pulls us away from a meaningful life. We see the pursuit of wealth as a trap that could turn us into the shallow, materialistic people we try so hard not to be. So, we keep it at arm's length. We might feel intense guilt when we spend money on ourselves, thinking those resources should have gone to helping others or supporting a cause we care about. This guilt can be so strong that it follows us even when we succeed, making us feel awkward and uncomfortable when we finally do achieve a little financial stability. This inner conflict leads to a painful, predictable cycle. We avoid looking at our bank accounts. We put off making a budget. We might make impulsive purchases based on emotion, not logic, just to quiet the anxiety for a second. And then, the shame rushes right back in, even stronger this time, reinforcing that belief that we're just not built for this. The isolation that follows just makes it harder to ask for help, trapping us in a loop of financial stress. Section 2. The agitation. Why your INFJ brain is wired this way. This isn't happening because you're lazy or irresponsible. It's happening because your brain is operating on a completely different wavelength. Your financial struggles are a direct result of the cognitive functions that make you an INFJ in the first place. First, your idealism and your strong personal values are completely non-negotiable. Every financial decision gets filtered through your ethics. You'd rather earn less than work for a company that goes against your principles. You'll avoid investing in industries that feel shady, even if it means smaller returns. While this gives you incredible integrity, it creates constant tension in a world that so often puts profit before purpose. Second, your mind is basically a time machine that's always set to the future. That's your introverted intuition at work. You're a master at seeing the big picture, connecting ideas, and seeing how things will play out long-term. But this future focus can make the tedious day-to-day details of managing money feel absolutely soul-crushing. Tracking expenses, categorizing receipts, updating a spreadsheet, it all seems so trivial compared to the grand visions you're busy contemplating. You're thinking about your life's purpose, not the price of your morning coffee. This isn't a flaw, it's a focus issue. Your mind is built for the forest, not for counting individual trees. Third, your extroverted feeling makes you incredibly tuned in to the emotions and needs of other people. This is your superpower for empathy, but it can be your kryptonite with money. You are so naturally generous, often lending money to friends or family even when it puts your own stability at risk. Setting boundaries feels wrong and can trigger a tidal wave of guilt, so you overextend yourself, constantly putting the needs of others before your own financial health. And finally, there's that classic INFJ perfectionism. We feel that if we can't manage our money perfectly, if we can't create the most amazing, detailed, and flawless budget the world has ever seen, then what's the point of even trying? This all-or-nothing thinking is paralyzing. The fear of not doing it right leads to doing nothing at all, which just digs us deeper into that cycle of shame and avoidance. If any of this is hitting home, let me know in the comments which one of these INFJ traits trips you up the most. Your story is such an important part of this conversation. Now let's get into how we can actually fix this. Section 3, the solution. 5 ways to master your money without selling your soul. The good news is, you don't need a personality transplant to get good with money. You just need a different toolkit, one that's actually designed for your INFJ brain. Here are 5 strategies to build financial security while staying completely true to yourself. Number 1, see money as a tool for your ideals. The biggest block for most of us is our negative view of money. We see it as stressful or greedy. It's time to rewrite that story. Instead of seeing money as the root of all evil, start seeing it for what it truly is, a form of energy. It's a tool that, in the right hands, can create a ton of good in the world. Financial security doesn't mean you're selling out, it means you're buying freedom. Freedom to leave that job that drains your soul. Freedom to invest in your own growth. Freedom to donate generously to causes you believe in without putting yourself at risk. When you reframe money as a resource for your ideals, the shame starts to fade and is replaced with a sense of purpose. Number 2, build a budget based on your values. Traditional budgets feel like a cage to an INFJ. They focus on what you can't spend on. A values-based budget flips that completely and focuses on what you want to fund. This approach lines up your spending with what you actually care about. Start by figuring out your core values. Is it creativity, community, learning, security, adventure? Then build your budget around those things. Instead of a boring entertainment category, you might have a personal growth fund for workshops and books, or a community support fund for charities and helping friends. Suddenly, budgeting isn't a punishment. It's the mindful act of designing a life that feels authentic. It gives you permission to spend on what truly matters to you. Number 3, automate your financial foundation. To work around your brain's natural dislike for boring details, just take your brain out of the day-to-day equation. Automation is your best friend. Seriously. Set up automatic transfers from your checking to your savings, your emergency fund, and your investment accounts on the day you get paid. Automate your bill payment so you never have to stress about late fees again. By making your saving and investing happen in the background, you're making steady progress toward your goals without having to think about it. This honors your future-oriented mind by building that long-term security you crave, while freeing up your mental space to focus on the big ideas where you really shine. Number 4, learn to set empathetic boundaries. Your generosity is an amazing quality, but it needs a container to be sustainable. Financially, that means learning to set clear but kind boundaries. It is not your job to solve everyone else's money problems, and frankly, enabling bad habits doesn't really help them anyway. You can practice saying no with compassion. A simple phrase like, "I care about you so much, but I'm just not in a position to lend money right now," is a complete sentence. You don't have to explain or justify it. You can also offer support that isn't financial, like helping them look for resources, or just offering a listening ear. This lets you be your caring self without sacrificing your own peace of mind. Number 5, embrace good enough finances. Let go of the perfectionism, please. A simple financial plan that you actually use is 1,000,000 times better than a perfect, complicated one that you never start. It all boils down to this: spend less than you earn and save or invest the rest. That's it. That's the foundation. Start there. You don't need to become a stock market genius overnight. You don't need the world's most detailed spreadsheet. You just need to start with small, consistent habits. Track your spending for just 1 month to see where your money is actually going. Open a high-yield savings account and set up a tiny, recurring transfer. Your goal isn't perfection, it's progress. When you embrace a good enough approach, you break free from the paralysis of perfectionism and start building real momentum. Your struggle with money has never been about your worth or your ability. It's been the result of trying to follow a financial playbook that wasn't written for you. Your idealism, your empathy, and your focus on the future are not liabilities. They are your greatest assets when you learn how to use them. By reframing money as a tool, budgeting with your values, automating your systems, setting kind boundaries, and letting go of perfectionism, you can build a life that is both deeply meaningful and financially secure. You don't have to choose between your integrity and your stability. You can have both. You can be the compassionate, visionary person you are and also be wealthy in every sense of the word, rich in purpose, rich in connection, and rich in the resources you need to make your unique mark on the world. If this helped you see your financial life in a new way, please subscribe and hit the notification bell for more insights on how to thrive as an INFJ. You deserve a life that feels right in your soul and is free from financial shame.